Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and just felt deflated? You know you're working hard, you're making decent money, but a huge chunk of it just seems to evaporate. Then you see other people buying new cars, new houses, and you can't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong? How are they affording this? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, I promise you, you are not alone. And the good news? There is a clear path out. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to walk through 6 steps together. We'll start with the hard truth of the average financial reality. Then we'll talk about how to escape that paycheck to paycheck trap. I'll give you the exact wealth building blueprint to follow, and we'll expose 2 huge money traps that derail most people. We'll finish up by looking at the magic of compounding and how to win the long game. This isn't fluff, it's a real actionable plan.
So, first things first, before we can figure out where we're going, we've got to get brutally honest about where we are right now. So, let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual numbers for the average person. Be warned, it might be a bit of a wake up call.
You know that feeling, right? Lying awake at night, just wondering, are you doing okay? Are you on track? It's so hard to know what's normal when all you see are the highlight reels on social media. So let's get into the real data. So this is the starting line, $52,000. That's the median income for a full-time worker in the US. But, and this is a huge but, that's before a single dollar is taken out for taxes. Once Uncle Sam and your state take their cut, what you actually take home is way, way less. Now, let's look at savings. For the people who do have a retirement account, the median balance is just 65 grand. And get this, that number lumps in a 25-year-old who's just starting out with a 60-year-old who's about to retire. So yeah, it's a pretty sobering number. And this is where it gets genuinely scary. 1/4 of Americans have absolutely nothing. Zero. Zilch. That means 1 in every 4 people you walk past on the street is heading toward retirement with no safety net at all, banking everything on Social Security. That is not a bet you want to be forced to make. And it's not just a lack of savings. People are actively going in the wrong direction. We're talking 9 grand in high-interest credit card debt on average. This isn't a mortgage. This is debt from stuff you probably don't even remember buying. This is the financial quicksand that keeps people stuck, and this is what we have to escape. So how in the world do you break out of this cycle? Well, it's not about finding the next hot stock or some crypto gamble. The very first step is actually about hitting one specific milestone, a milestone that completely changes your mindset and your relationship with money. This right here, this is the game changer. Saving your first $10,000 isn't really about the money itself. It's about what it represents: breathing room, options, control. It's the point where you stop playing defense against life's emergencies and you finally get to start playing offense with your finances. And this isn't just some feel-good idea, it is literal science. Financial stress floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone. It clouds your judgment. But having that cash cushion, it calms everything down. Suddenly, a surprise $800 car repair bill goes from a full-blown, catastrophic crisis to just an annoying inconvenience. You're no longer in panic mode. You are in problem-solving mode. Okay, so once you've hit that 10K milestone and you have that psychological freedom, it's time to build. But you can't just start throwing money around and hoping for the best. You need a plan. You need a blueprint. And the order you do things in is absolutely critical. This is it. This is the exact order, and it is non-negotiable. First, you get that 3 to 6 month emergency fund squared away. That's your fortress wall. Next, you destroy, and I mean destroy, any high interest debt. Think about it. Paying off a credit card with a 22% interest rate is like getting a guaranteed 22% return on your money. You can't beat that anywhere. After the debt is gone, you contribute just enough to get your full employer 401k match. It's 100% return. It's free money. Take it. Then, and only then, do you move on to maxing out tax-advantaged accounts, like a Roth IRA and HSA, followed by the rest of your 401k. This is the path. All right, you have the blueprint, but now you have to be aware of the landmines. There are 2 major purchases that society has normalized, but in reality, they are wealth-destroying black holes designed to keep you from ever getting ahead. First up, the new car, with its temptingly low monthly payments stretched over 7 or even 8 years. This isn't a loan, it's a financial prison sentence. For years, you're underwater, meaning you owe the bank more than the car is even worth. You feel like an owner, but you're basically just renting a rapidly depreciating asset from the bank. And here is the brutal, painful math. A typical 2-car household can easily be spending $1,400 a month on car payments. Now, what if instead you invested that same $1,400 every month? Over 30 years, assuming a pretty standard 8% return, you would have over $1 million. Your cars? They'd be worth maybe $1,000, if you're lucky. This is, without exaggeration, $1 million mistake. The second trap is the $500,000 starter home. The mortgage payment they quote you? That's just the tip of a giant, terrifying iceberg. The true monthly cost is a monster that includes property taxes, homeowners insurance, PMI if you don't put 20% down, and, oh yeah, maintenance and repairs. It's a financial ambush waiting to happen. And here's the crazy part. To comfortably afford a home at that price, you need a household income of at least $150,000 a year. But only about 20% of U.S. households actually make that. So what does that mean? It means 80% of people are being pressured by realtors, by banks, by society to stretch themselves to the absolute financial breaking point. It's a game that is rigged for most people to lose. But, and this is a big but, if you follow the blueprint, if you can sidestep those traps, you eventually reach this incredible, almost magical moment. You hit a tipping point where the entire journey gets easier because your money finally starts to do the heavy lifting for you. The legendary Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's longtime partner, said it best. Getting to that first $100,000 saved is the absolute hardest part. It's a grind. It feels like you're just crawling uphill. But once you get there, something amazing happens. You unleash the most powerful force in finance, compounding. And this chart shows you exactly what he meant. Think of it like a snowball. Getting to that first 100K is you packing that first little ball and pushing it yourself. It takes over 6 years. But then it starts rolling. Your money starts earning its own money. The next 100K only takes 4 years. The one after that, just over 3. Your investment returns are now doing more and more of the work. The snowball is getting bigger and it's moving faster, all on its own. Look, none of this is about getting rich quick. Building real wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about being consistent and disciplined over a long period of time. And this becomes absolutely crucial as you hit your peak earning years. Financial advisors will tell you that by age 40, you should have about 3 times your annual salary saved for retirement. So if you make $70K, that's $210,000. But what does the median person actually have? Around 60 grand. Your 40s are the critical decade. It's really the last window you have to close that gap and get serious before time starts working against you. So what's the secret from here on out? How do you win? It's actually shockingly simple. You automate everything so you don't have to think about it. You tune out the screaming headlines and the market panic. You consciously decide not to upgrade your car or your house just because you got a raise. You stay relentlessly, wonderfully, profitably boring. In investing, boring is how you win. Because in the end, it all boils down to this one simple choice. You can spend your money to look wealthy, or you can invest your money to actually be wealthy. Every dollar you spend on a fancy car or a bigger house to impress other people is a dollar that's not working for you, not building your freedom. So, which will it be? The choice is yours, and you make it every single day.